Do you secrete a reading dysfunction? Do you have problems putting your words in a colostomy bag? That's why I've cremated this new program called Book on Phonics. I'll teach you how to testiculate my way.
Hello. Good evening, friends. Good evening, friends. It is book club time. We are continuing on chapter 12 this Wednesday. Her religion. You guys all know what we're doing here, trying to get through this book to get to the next one. It's Wednesday. I said I'll be here. God dang it, I'm here. A black woman's guide to understand, a black man's guide to understanding a black woman. Very relative to today's times. Even though this book was released in 1989, still ain't found the snippet for it. I'm lazy. Lady Navoy in the building. How you doing, sis? How are you? How are you? Yes, you are first for the first time. Anybody else? Let me know so I can give y'all shout outs. It is Wednesday, Friday. We will have Feel Good Fridays over on Twitch. We did have a winner of a new pair of Edifier Bluetooth headphones. That was Hitting Jim's podcast. Those are out in the mail to him and shall be there shortly. A lot of people don't like this book, obviously, but I don't care. Someone needs to do it. I'll be the one to do it. So as they come in, we'll get it going. Chapter 12, Her Religion. This is a sticky topic and one that must be approached with great care. No matter what the affiliation, the black woman is dedicated to her religion if she has one. She will honor and respect her church as if God himself resides there. She donates or tithes a lot of her salary in personal funds to her church. She joins church clubs, choirs, boards, and groups and incorporates them into her life. She works tirelessly for causes related to her house of worship. If she attends church regularly, the black man may notice that some of the outfits she wears to church are inappropriate, too tight, too short, or too low cut. Hello, Sunshine. How are you? I see you in the building. Good evening, my sister. Or too low cut. Her church is another place she goes to see who can dress the best. When the black man does not approve of the outfit she wears to church, he is usually not in a position to protest effectively. It is also common knowledge that the church is not immune to scandal, and many of the membership have clandestine, illicit relationships going on amongst the so-called holy. There is a lot of gossip going on around about who did what to whom, or who caught who with whom, or who's sneaking around behind another spouse's back. The black man quickly loses interest in going to church because his street experience allows him to cut through the religious rap and recognize the money game that's often going on. Again, this is chapter 12, page 122, guys. He sometimes recognized the preacher as a Bible-toting, holy rolling pimp of sorts who milks the female members out of big dough. The hypocrisy and fakery repels him. The black woman respects her pastor as her perceived link to God Almighty, and she serves him, raises money for him, cooks for him, and follows his instructions, sometimes to the letter. No worries, sis. We all learning every day. She often treats her minister like she ought to treat her man. It is trying for the black man to watch his woman work so diligently for another black man when he can't get any cooperation from her at home. If the black man does not attend church as regularly as the black woman or refuses to go at all, the black woman tends to feel sorry for him and believes that his salvation is at stake. She thinks that if he went to church more, his luck might improve. There are always more black women in church than black men. This is not because black women are prone to try harder to get to glory, but because the black man is not prone to sit up and listen for hours to another black man tell him how to run his life. He does not like it when his woman's decisions and recommendations. No, he doesn't like it when his woman confesses their private affairs to the minister and holds his decisions and recommendations more dear than his. Black women obey their pastors because his instructions do not require her to deal with him in follow up. She has options, and the pastor appreciates any effort she makes to aid him in his program. She doesn't have to live with him daily, so her reverence is reserved for Sunday or choir rehearsal or the usher board meeting. The black woman views church as a permissible place to let her hair down and confess her sins publicly. She believes that her private relationship with God is separate from everything else she does, and she claims to turn to God to help her problems with the black man. She sincerely says, "I put it in the hands of the Lord." Often, she belongs to a quiet, dignified religion that does not require an outcry. Another shocker is when the black woman gets in church and works herself into a frenzy, commonly called shouting. This is a process during which she voluntarily loses control of her bodily limbs, screams, cries loudly, and becomes nearly hysterical due to being overcome with religious worship. She calls it feeling the spirit. She flings her arms, throws up her dress, and kicks her legs wildly while tossing her head from side to side. She is not embarrassed about this kind of public performance, and the other black women there feel good about the fact that she got happy. Many times, male ushers rush to her side uh, and physically carry her from the pew because she is disruptive and possibly dangerous to other members sitting near who may get hit or kicked while she is out of her head. She has this fit to let off her frustration in a place where the kind of tantrum is permitted based on religion. It has been said that the shouting phenomena is a frenzy during which the person actually ends up with a feeling similar to an orgasm. The black man is embarrassed about the whole ordeal and does not believe that God requires the black woman to have an epileptic type seizure to profess her belief. And he is right. It is all a game. The black woman will cling to her Bible for comfort and read it in the black man's presence. She may sit around the house humming spirituals, singing aloud, appealing to God for mercy in her affairs. It gives her a feeling of calm. Of course, she dismisses the parts of the Bible that refer to what her role should be as a woman. She picks and chooses which part of the Bible she will believe and reduces the rest to old time information that doesn't apply today. Sound familiar, guys? She ignores these parts and decides for herself what God wants her to be and do. She believes that God or Jesus and such during the olden days, which do not apply to modern times. 1989, this was written, Sunshine. She believes herself to be very righteous due to attending and being involved in the church. She feels that if she can be busy with other activities during the week, then she can at least give one day to God and attend church services. She should give all of her days to God, not just Sunday. And she should discuss her concepts of God and her practice of religion with her man. She has a continuing need for approval by her church members and often counts on them for her self-esteem. Her self-esteem is closely related to the perception of esteem by her peers and nameless others, which she perpetually tries to attain. On the other hand, the black man is considered a misfit because he rejects the role demands placed on him by others. He is his own man. If he does things in a way that is contrary to the way suggested by common opinion, he is called wrong. If he persists in his own ideas and refuses to change them, he is called stubborn. He is known to execute his will in the face of countless odds. The black woman, not understanding the purpose of religion, goes to church to worship a God of some sort who is built. My apologies. To worship a God of some sort who is a member of the masculine entity. He is a man. He is built like a man. He is made like a man and is referred to as he or him or his. God, the supreme being, has always been a man. His masculine gender has never been doubted or tampered with. He has always been and always will be a man. The black woman accepts the actual fact that God is indeed a male. She reads and hears about the thoughts and wishes of God and is respectful to his words, professes to love him, fears him, and memorizes his instructions. She periodically even tries to obey God and do what he says to reach heaven, happiness, in quotations, here and in the other life she believes is waiting for her in glory after she dies. She can honor the God in this way because she knows that it is highly unlikely she will ever meet the supreme God face to face, or have to answer his questions, or be held personally accountable for her actions under direct examination. The supreme being, the creator, can be a man to her as long as the God does not live with her. It is simple for her to claim she wants to obey God because it is not her man she is talking about. If the black woman had to live with God, since he is a man also, she could not get along with him either. She does not understand that her behavior towards a man will and does not change, no matter which man it is. Just Do in the building. How you doing, bro? I love voice. Since the black man is in the image of the God, she should also respect, honor, and obey him too. Her man may be the closest symbol she ever meets who resembles the God, but she likes to think that all of this is just a fluke of nature. The point that her black mate is a man and God is a man does not faze her. The similarity shoots right over her holy head. It should be explained to her that the two major differences between the black man and the God are power and knowledge. She should be told that power is the ability to cause others to adjust their behavior in conformance with the instructions given. Power can be wielded multifarious ways to get the desired result. Reduced to its lowest common denominator, power is simply strength, proven, real, or perceived by demonstration. Knowledge is the acquaintance with facts, truths, and principles. Comprehension, judgment, and wisdom go with the territory. It is an absolute knowing of information. Hey, Miss Mary, how are you, sister? Thank you for coming. The object that prevents, did anybody need the breakdown of the power and knowledge information? It seemed pretty self-explanatory to me. All right. This is why I try to explain to people that education is not the same as knowledge, right? Education is not the same as wisdom. Education is simply training to do said task, right? Meaning anything out of that education, anything out of the training, you still wouldn't understand, right? Education makes you smart in a particular subject matter. It doesn't make you knowledgeable. All right. I'm doing great. I'm blessed, my sister. I'm blessed. Thank you for asking. Right. And power, I think everybody understands that And I think that's the reason why really we're in a lot of the trouble we're in, because the power of men cannot be demonstrated without great consequence to come to them. Right? All while understanding our women not understanding that the very reason why the power cannot be thrust upon them to get the resulted change, right? Or to get the required results is that men protect them with power. But they don't need men though. The women of today don't understand, right? They really don't understand. And I said this on a live the other day, right? Women don't understand violence. And it's because in this day and age, the Western world, the women and men, to be honest, men too, right, are safer than they've ever been. Right. And when I say that, I mean as in regards to everything, the weather, the changing of the seasons, right? Wild animals, each other. It's hard getting up, to fight when you're sleeping in silk sheets every day. Right. The object that prevents the black man from acquiring the power and knowledge to be in line behind the God is the black woman. She is a wall between the black man and his developing a certain measure of the kind of power and knowledge it takes to rule the world and to rule her. She does not obey him or tell him the truths that will allow him to change her behavior, so he does not have power or knowledge. She keeps him from attaining full knowledge because she will not tell. She blocks him from attaining full knowledge because she will not tell. She blocks him from being acquainted with her true self and doesn't let him know very much about what she knows and or believes. She does not assist him in his creations and is short on patience. If he tries something and fails once, that's it, and she never lets him forget it. In my humble opinion, guys, please note this is my opinion. When I say it's facts, it's facts, it's the truth, right? But this is my opinion. How can our women expect black men to ascend to their highest state when they won't even listen to him? Because the truth is, you ask any man that's worth, and again, listen, I always explain to you guys, any man worth his salt. I cannot sit up here and say with a straight face that there aren't any bad men out there. There are plenty of bad men out here. Okay. But any man worth his salt will acknowledge to you the advantages that a good woman bring to a relationship with them. A good woman. The crazy thing is that a lot of our women have their perceived idea of what a good woman is, and it's not even close to what a good woman really is for her man. How can your man focus on gaining the knowledge and the power to become the greatest leader possible within himself when he can't even count on you to do your job? He can't count on you to believe in him. He can't count on you to listen to him. You don't even allow him the grace of trial and error. Her lack of support of him in his multifaceted quest and her denial of the moral approbation to execute his own ideas keep him from succeeding. He is like a man in a sinking boat full of people with buckets, and the only one bailing water is him. If the boat sinks, he will be charged with the failure to preserve the occupants' lives. If he succeeds in saving them, He is told it is what he was supposed to do anyway. He seemingly, my apologies, guys, has white America holding him down on one end and the black woman putting him down on the other. If he were not so strong and self-motivated, he would have been destroyed centuries ago. While keeping the black man from getting to power and knowledge, she does something else completely juxtaposed to that position. She expects him to have the answer to all of her problems. Often, the black man will report to each other about the black woman and say, "She got too many problems, bro." As soon as the black woman is sure she has the ear of the black man, she starts to complain and drags out all of her psychological hangups for him to sift through, solve, and make better. What's good, D? Fishing the fit in the building? This is not a bad idea for her to do this, except that she usually has no intentions of taking his advice. She asks him anyway to tear apart his theories. Yet she looks to him as a mystic who will decipher her problems of adjustment and make it all better. She may be attracted to Buddhism or witchcraft or even atheism, trying to find her own personal God. Sometimes the black woman turns to her zodiac sign as religiously as she turns to her church. Zodiac books, a familiar kind of numerology based on the sun, moon, stars, planets, and months are sold everywhere and purchased by those desiring to know the future. The black woman will pattern and temper her behavior sometimes according to her daily zodiac reading. She chooses numerology, mythology, and tricknology before she will take her daily instructions from her man. She likes to obey a thing as opposed to obeying a live man. She wants to obey and follow an entity that cannot monitor her or communicate normally with words. She insists upon having some kind of magic governing her life. She believes in a ridiculous assortment of misinformation she receives or buys from people whom she does not know. She moves to yoga, crystals, or meditation, seeking a God she can design and control. To no avail. In the rare cases where she does listen to the black man, after he drags her to the answers to her problems, she looks up one day and decides that she did it all by herself, all alone. She develops amnesia about his input and guidance, claims that God showed her the way, and may decide she no longer needs the man. She may want to shake him off because she doesn't want anyone present to remind her of her lame past or failure or frustration. She wants to impress the other people around her with her self-directed, self-achieved success. The history of her botching up everything she tried before she got to her black man is conveniently dismissed from memory. She does not want to be beholden. Sunshine said, "I think a woman who behaves like that was trained." Page 127, guys. This is particularly true of the black woman with mediocre intelligence who man helps her to get through school or training and to get on their feet professionally or personally. It may involve showing her how to establish credit, drive or buy a car, dress appropriately, or to speak right. These are special categories that the black woman wants to believe she accomplished alone from her own inspiration and knowledge. Once on her feet and making a little money, she immediately computes how she can exist on her own without having to put up with her man. He becomes instantly dispensable. She is willing to dispense with the vessel that rendered to her all her blessings. Earning a little money makes the black woman feel independent and free. She may have no idea what kind of life she will live without the black man, but her fantasies tell her that it can always be better if she is available. Almost the very second she achieves her goals, she decides she is superior to her man. After that point, she may just tolerate him until she can actually figure out the logistics of getting away. She prays to God. Sadly, she believes that God will support her in fighting against the black man. who is God, who is of God's own kind, another man. Because she equates the God with mind-boggling, wondrous miracles. She cannot see him in her own black man, but he is there. He is only repressed in it. It is this kind of reality that the black woman finds hard to handle. She finds this troublesome to accept because she does not see herself as being worthy of associating with a being who is in the image of God, a man. The black woman's gross natural product regarding religion is confusion. She has not yet been able to conceptualize God. Some of them do not instill a religion in their children and say they will let the child, who is unqualified to make this decision, decide for itself what kind of religion it wants to have. Children should be taught the religion of their parents, and their parents should have the same religion. Moving on to page chapter 13, education and career. If I can do something real quick. Bear with me, guys. Okay, that's better. Chapter 13, page 128, education and career. The so-called professional black woman is a wonder to behold. She loves her job and the public acclaim it affords. She is a workaholic when challenged by her boss to complete certain tasks. She tries to make comrades of her co-workers and often confides in them about her home life and will try to build her entire life around her job, if allowed to. Her main focus is to achieve the highest possible title available in her field and to make the most money doing so. She also hopes to be considered the best dressed employee ever. She will spend humongous sums of money on clothes so she can look more prosperous than she is. What's good, KP? KC in the building. Somewhere along the line, the black woman adopted the foolish idea that she should wear a different outfit to work every day of the year, if possible. She is so selfish and self-centered, she believes that her coworkers count her outfits and by doing so can tell what she has. So she puts forth a great effort to make sure they think she has a ton of clothes. While on her tip-top job, she stays late for meetings, volunteers for special assignments, hauls home a briefcase full of papers every night, and will treat her boss, white or black, with extra charm if she thinks it will help her get ahead in both title and salary. She is exceptionally proud of her alma mater and prides herself on getting a full college education that qualifies her for special jobs. She thinks it makes her superior, and if her man happens not to have attended college, she would throw it up in his face whenever she has a sophisticated talk with him about something he's not familiar with. She learned a lot of her nonsense about the black woman's place from her formal education, or should it be called miseducation. She is seen to adjust her values and demeanor to fit it and get along on her job. All of the on-the-job principles that white Americans adhere to are accepted by her, and she tries to live up to them also. If her man tells her she is spending too much time on her job, she may rebel and say he is just jealous of her career and doesn't want her to get ahead and make more money than he does. She has the same kind of irrational explanation for everything the black man asks of her while she is working on her big-time gig. She will come home bragging about her accomplishments on the job or about her great boss and what a fantastic man he is, or that she just spent such and such on a present for her boss, or my boss is taking me out to dinner. It matters not to her that her own family or man needs her at home to fix dinner for them. She convinces the black man that she can't be stopped because she is on a roll moving up in the world. A world that is not hers because her world is one that should be rotating around the black nation. Unlike any other species, the black female rejects her natural mate and offsprings to cling to the culture of others in the name of holding down a job. She reminds the black man of his perceived financial shortcomings by saying, "You know we need the money." If she gets a hard-earned promotion, she boasts to everyone in earshot about how she pleased her employer enough with her dedicated service to get promoted. She doesn't know that the black man doesn't mind her earning a high salary. It doesn't really make him feel less of a man, and he doesn't really feel a need to compete with her. It's just that she can't handle it herself. Her feelings of guilt are self-nurtured. She is the one who becomes uncomfortable about how much money she earns, especially if it's more than her man. If she shared her money with her man and put it all in one pot, she would not be so apt to feel superior or to make him feel inferior. Nevertheless, she parades around claiming that she wishes she could find a man who is not intimidated by her high salary and corporate image. Her equation that money equals power in her relationship with the black man is unfounded. Yet she thinks money is the measure of who is in charge of making decisions in the home. Of course, this idea creates a lot of problems for the black man in the home. The black man is supposed to be the boss in his home, and it has nothing to do with who makes the most money. The black woman belongs to the black man, and everything she owns also belongs to him. All ancient black civilizations were set up this way because it is a system that allows the man to be in a more powerful position with the added clout of the wealth of his wives. If a woman nags the black man about not making enough money or expounds daily about how he should have more ambition, he will surely seek out another woman who accepts him without consulting his wallet. The black woman mistakenly thinks that if she nags the black man long enough, or stays mad at him long enough, or refuses his affections long enough, that it will make him give in and submit to her ideas. Instead, it runs him away and he is outside looking for a peace of mind. The peace of mind may come in the form of another woman, drugs, alcohol, or other than normal perversions, of which there are plenty. When the black woman is cross with the black man and breaks his peace, he is unable to function in his normal way. If he is able to function, it is because he has been forced to develop an I don't care or fuck it attitude that restores him to calm. A1 Hoops on, what's good, E? He develops this attitude because of the futility of trying to get his points over to the black woman who rejects them. She wants him to suffer if she is displeased with him in any way. She will withhold the peace until she is satisfied. He has been punished enough and has learned his lesson. Well, not exactly his lesson, but her lesson. She fights in the same way to defend her right to work, control her own money, and to be excused from womanly duties. Hey, do your thing, A1. I appreciate you coming through, man. Showing up is enough. I appreciate you, bro. Make sure y'all subscribe to A1 Hoop Done for all your NBA news, please. If she attends a party at work, she often uses another voice, laughs at jokes or incidents which are not funny to blacks, and is chummy with her coworkers. Although she is not on the job to socialize or fraternize, she becomes adept at appearing to be interested in office jokes. Sometimes off-color stories and other kinds of conversations are not fit for the ears of a black woman when told by strangers. On some jobs, the black woman is still subject to be pinched, patted on the behind, touched in a familiar way, and fondled at will by her boss or bosses. The black woman sometimes accepts this kind of disrespectful action because she wants to keep her job and thinks that if she does not go along with the touching and patting, that she will be fired. And she will in most cases. Most of this goes on several levels of employment. On the more classy jobs, many of them file lawsuits claiming sexual harassment. But on more menial jobs, black women do not know how to defend themselves. If the black man should get wind of a report the black woman is being offended physically by her boss, he should demand that she quit the job. No job is so important that the black woman exchanges her dignity for a few dollars more. Older black women are also subject to this kind of behavior from their male bosses and feel they are defenseless because they need the job. Black men should question their women their sisters, and their mothers to make sure they are not being disrespected on the job. Facts. Unfortunately, interracial dating has become commonplace in the workplace, and many black women feel honored if their white boss or white coworker shows special personal interest in them. Office romances of all kinds are apt to surface if she is spending several hours a day with another man other than her own. If a man and woman spend extensive time together and develop intimate communications from the close proximity they are working in daily or nightly, the black man should be aware that nature will take its course. Unless the two workers are totally repulsed by each other, the potential for an affair is present. The black woman will work closely and dedicated with the men on her job and cooperate fully to complete a project. Of course, her motivation is financial. It's her job. She thinks she is performing just for the money. If she must work outside the home, and many black women have talents that others can benefit from, the black man should make sure that the environment is safe. That's why you take your wife roses to work, guys. KPKC said, "Not Easily Broken" is a movie that depicts a lot of this behavior. Morris Chetnut interrupt. Yeah, man, I seen it, bro. Yeah, this is why I tell y'all take your word. This is why I take my. I mean, I want to give her flowers, right? I want to make her day. You know, give her some sunshine of the day. But this is why I also take my wife flowers to work. I want to see what the environment is. I want to see what's going on for my own eyes. Free game. That it is safe from sexual harassment and safe from overly close involvement with other men. The black woman romanticizes a lot, and she is not above comparing her boss or coworker to her man at home and then deciding that the former has more to offer her or that they have more in common. Today's ideas of work are specific and competitive, and those who have chosen to work must adopt the same ideas of the job hosting them. The black woman is not exempt from these perspectives. She has leapt into the fray head first. Things are seemingly moving so fast, she no longer has time to examine her motivations or her actions. She looks about her and sees what's going on with others and believes she must match the tempo of their pace if she wants to achieve. She is constantly concerned about what they will think about how she dresses, how she looks, what she has, or who her man is. She notes that the black man is more often than not absent, missing from the job scene because of lack of skills, prison, old age, drugs, craziness, illness, and dissatisfaction. She feels more alone today than she has ever been before. The media have set up such a bad and unwholesome picture of the black man that she is often embarrassed to even be associated with the black man who is not wearing a suit or carrying a briefcase. Sound familiar, guys? She considers it beneath her dignity to develop a relationship with what is referred to as a blue collar worker, just a 9 to 5 guy, a tradesman, right? She has adopted the standard of white America and believes her education makes her superior to the black man who may not have the same interests or options. Excuse me. In fact, if the so-called intelligent, attractive, successful employed black woman dates or becomes genuinely interested in a black man who her friends consider to be below her social status, her friends will criticize her and remind her that she should be with a doctor or lawyer or etc. or rapper or actor or scammer, using today's terms. Black women think that they are too good for some black men, when in fact, it is the direct opposite. Some black men are too good to have to put up with some of the funky dispositions of today's black women. The black man should be himself and exercise his power and will over the black woman. Her Harvard degree or office door nameplate has no place in her personal affairs with her man. It has no value there. The only place her training or education has any value is on her job. And she should be reminded to leave her hoity-toity behavior on the job where it belongs. This is not to say the black woman should be kept down on the farm rooting potatoes. Certainly, she should be educated, intelligence, courteousness, cleanliness, cheerfulness, and dependability. The black woman is equally baffled about why the unemployed black man cannot find a job and settle into it for a zillion years until retirement. It appears so simple to her, and she has no problem finding work of some kind if she really sets her mind to it. She has several survival cushions at her disposal, not readily available to the black man. If she is single, she can sometimes easily move in with a girlfriend, move back home, or with another relative. If she has children and falls on hard times, she can get welfare, food stamps, medical care, and a place to live. She can get these benefits sick or well, no matter what her age. And she can get them literally for as long as she likes. The black man is in no such position. If he falls upon hard times, it is difficult, if not impossible, for him to find a place where he is welcome to live with no money. Males do not regularly take each other in as women do. Black women also do not take in a black man who cannot pull his own weight financially. If he has had relationships with several women who he remains in contact with, sometimes he can live with them for a short while before they become impatient with his displacement and start making snide remarks about his being out of work. His other option is to try to move back home. If he has relatives, or to become homeless and live in a shelter or on the streets, as many black men do. He certainly cannot move back home as readily as a black woman. His mother, a black woman, eventually feels the same way as other black women. He should get out and get a job, any job, as long as he makes some money, and he should get out and get him a woman, or he should get out, period. Black women give no consideration to the jobless rate of black men and boys in general. She is not the least bit concerned with what she considers false pride about what kind of job he will take, how much money he desires to earn, or how he must be treated on the job in order to stay on it. He is expected to suffer any kind of insults or vile treatment as long as he makes some money. Any complaints he makes about why he quit a job or refused to take one are considered to be lame excuses for laziness. She has never been a black man in a white society. She has no concept of what it's like. If she lets him move in with her or continue to live with her when he loses his job or quits his job, it's not long before she makes him feel like he is the lowest creature in a swamp, as if the sum total of his self-worth is based on the dollar. This is another contradiction because she claims she wants the black man home with her, but only when she's there and only if he gives up some money. She takes the lesson of the whore. If a man sleeps with her, he owes her money for the privilege. No romance without finance, or you have to pay to play, are her slogans. If the man she is interested in does not have the education that equals hers, he must be at least a self-made man and have a business or inherited money or be a drug dealer or other. But he must have some money to make up for his scholastic ignorance or the potential to be taught a little class according to her ideas. She expects the uneducated black man to be extra special in bed. He must be able to do something that she can use as an explanation to her friends about why she is with them. BZ, what's good, my guy? How you doing? Thanks for tuning in. We're on page 133, going to page 134. She does not think of telling them that she loves him for being himself or for his values or because he loves her and treats her well. When not working at all, everything he says is examined with suspicion because she thinks if he isn't working, his opinion and authority is invalidated and void until he gets another job. No job, no respect. She may even lose interest in him sexually because she claims she can't get her mind off bills. When he is not working or paying her in some way, she thinks that she is providing sex for free. Broadening the spectrum, if the black woman quits or gets fired from his good job, the black woman panics more than he does. She calls her parents and everyone else she knows to inform them of the bad news. All of these people advise her about how to handle it as if she were the wounded party. She immediately becomes worried that she and or the children will starve to death. She launches a panic rocket landing on the thought of her living in a barrel or somewhere in the subway instead of trying to comfort her man and assure him that they can work something out. She may mention the fact that she can get a part-time job in addition to her full-time one. Her financial security is easily shaken because she can't bear the thought that she might have to change her style of living or give up a few of her material things, and God forbid the neighbors from finding out. She becomes convinced that if he got fired, he must have done something wrong, and whatever happened, he should have preserved his job. Most of them believe that their security is working in the system for large white-owned entities. Many black men never stop looking for the opening by which they can escape a job owned by someone else and own one of his own. His plight at the time is another whole tub of worms and worry. His woman may or may not help him in his quest to go for self. And if he should fail, and some ideals do fail, she lets him know that he should have known that it wouldn't work out in the first place. If she really did not like his new business venture ideal, she will withhold her help. The problems the black woman presents the black man with regarding her behavior in the workforce, or how she acts when she works on the same job as he does, or how she demonstrates her fierce competitive aura, makes for bad vibes between them. He is sick and tired of all that woman's lip boldness and fed up with her aggressive actions. The black man has responded to the black woman's aggression in the workforce by retaliating in the following ways. Number one, listen up, guys.
Did you hear what I said?
Wipe the sleep out of your eyes and focus on this, right? The black man has responded to the black woman's aggressions in the workforce by retaliating in the following ways. Number one, he stays away from her. Number two, he keeps his contact either superficial or platonic. Number three, he does not voluntarily help her financially. Number four, he has turned to the white woman and the Oriental woman for love. Number five, he declines and ducks marriage. Number six, he does not make a full emotional commitment. Number seven, he does not share his ideas with her. Number eight, he becomes bitter towards all women in general. Number nine, and in many cases, he withdraws from her bed. Number 10, he does not plan on a future that includes her. (1989). The black woman has the misplaced notion that she can treat the black man any way that she pleases and that he has to take it if he wants sex. This has proven once again to be another failed plan because the black man, while mostly silent, is using the non-violent skills listed above to get back at her. She in turn becomes more adamant in her charges against him, and the standoffs continue. The black woman is convinced that she must go for self and achieve her own personal goals. She will fully compete with the black man to prove her superiority and flaunts among the society, bellowing her achievements. Professional gain has taken precedence over her male relationship. The black man does not have any special worth to her. He is just another opponent who persists in getting in her way as she mounts the glistening rungs of the corporate ladder. Any advancement outside of the home is considered a high achievement, no matter how many casualties she causes. When she is criticized for competing with the black man for the best jobs under the white man's employment system, she dismisses her evil intent and claims that the black man is just a sore loser and not as qualified as she is. She gives less than a damn about his need to have adequate funds to support his family. She wants accolades from her coworkers and other strangers, and she wants material things that cost cash money. She believes she can outdo the black man in every category, and she takes pride in being labeled as a tough bitch on the job. And she takes special pleasure in her never-ending plight to prove her equality with the black man, the white woman, and the white man. She feels inadequate to all three groups and is often compelled to achieve higher pay and higher recognition as a defense mechanism. All of this is not to say that the black woman should not work outside the home, but her job does promote the idea of independence and separation, especially in the brass-laden, carpeted corridors of the corporate world. If she does not know what to expect and plan, if she does not know what to expect and plan how she would defer negative stumbling blocks, she is doomed to become a victim of peer pressure and change for the worse. Any change she makes contrary to what her man wants and expects of her will be detrimental. Give me a second, guys. My lips dry. I'm sorry. Just a second, guys. I'm sorry. My apologies. Happy Wednesday, everybody. We almost through the week. Almost through the week. If working outside the home interferes with child rearing, taking care of her husband, and attending to the house, the black woman should only work part-time or quit the job altogether. Yes, it is a sacrifice, but it is a major way to put the black man back in the spot of the head of house and breadwinner. The black man should assess the situation, decide how he wants to live, and whether or not her financial contribution is worth he and the children giving up what they need from the wife and mother in his home. If he approves of her working, then he should cooperate with her in maintaining the home and taking care of the children. It doesn't have to be 50-50, but he should help. Totally agree. I totally agree. Overtime. On the issue of the black woman working overtime, please know that black women want to please their bosses. Many of them will work late into the evenings and into the night, Saturdays or Sundays, or full weekends. Obviously, to do this, she must neglect other areas of her life that require care and maintenance. Cooking dinner and cleaning the house, spending time with her man often go lacking due to her hectic overtime schedule. No black woman should become dedicated to her job or so-called career if it requires her to neglect her family. As priority stress, mealtimes is a very important event in the black household. All schedules should be adjusted whenever possible to allow for mealtime congregation of the family members. This is similar to an every evening reunion of the group. If the black woman finds it unavoidable to get out of working overtime, she should prepare all of her meals on the weekend and freeze them so they can be reheated each weekend evening for dinner, or get up early each morning to fix the dinner meal. Under no circumstances should a black man and his children have to eat junk food or scuffle around the kitchen on their own just so the black woman can work overtime on someone else's job. Her first job and first responsibility is to her man and family. Small children especially need their mother home with them in the evening and weekends, should somehow be devoted to some relaxed family time or outside activities together. Of course, it is impossible to maintain this schedule every weekend, but at least once a month, the family should participate in a group activity for communal purposes, enjoyment. And yes, she will rebel against the black man, informing her that she needs to cut her overtime down. It is also wise at this time that he asks what she intends to do with the extra money she is earning. Chapter 14, attitudes. This is page 137, guys. We'll give it to 9:15 this time. We'll give it to 9:15 today. In chapter 14, page 137, attitudes. Black women very easily do what is referred to as an at that. Black women very easily do what it is referred to as get an attitude or catching an attitude. And this means routinely, daily, moment to moment, she may decide for whatever reason that it is necessary to float between good feelings and bad feelings, which equals an attitude. The attitude represents a change in mood. She may become dark and gloomy or uptight for days on end about something that she has not even presented to the black man. There are several interactions she predetermines will give her some kind of emotional problem that results in her exhibiting an attitude. The attitude is unpleasant, makes her extra hard to get along with, and pervades the atmosphere with dissatisfaction. The black woman attitude affects how she looks, how she responds, and what she does. Her attitude can be described simply as her state of mind, negative. While her presence is important and her cooperation essential, the most important issue black men has to deal with is the black woman's state of mind. If she has an attitude, she will be careless, cynical, silent, and disagreeable to live with in peace. The first hint that she has an attitude is that she becomes quiet, distracted, and irritable. The black woman has a very short memory of the good times she's had with her man. And as soon as something goes wrong, she immediately figures out what it would take for her to bail out of the relationship. She can make her exit plans in a twinkling of an eye and instantly is ready to do whatever it takes to flee. She keeps these plans ready in the forefront of her mind anyway because of her insecurities, distrust, and lack of faith in the black man. Once she's figured out her game plan, i.e., what she'll do if he does this or that, she becomes settled in it. It is at that moment her confidence returns and she is ready to deal with the problem at hand. She deals with personal interaction problems as if they are happening during the last day of her life. There is no tomorrow for she and the man she is at odds with. The unfair thing about the black woman's attitude is that she chooses to act out her dissatisfaction instead of confronting the black man head on, honestly, and explaining what she is unhappy about. Sometimes, once the actual words are spoken out of her mouth, she realizes how ridiculous her position is and hopes with all her might the man will offer a simple solution or explanation that will get her off the hook. When she is carrying an attitude about something, she thinks the entire conversation out in her head. She may even rehearse her lines or make up responses to what she thinks the black man will say. She may become so involved with her inner talk scripts, she is unable to hear other people talk to her and appears to be daydreaming. The black man, who is unaware of her self-talks and verbal preparation, may be surprised at the almost instant intensity and organization she presents her problem in. While she is waiting to see if the man will figure out for himself what is wrong with her, she talks to her friends. She downgrades the black man and tells her cohorts every negative thing she knows about him and possibly his whole family. Her friends, other black women, are, of course, sympathetic with her predicament. The black man is literally tried and convicted before he even goes on trial. Later on, after the conflict, later on after the conflict has passed, and she and the man are back on good terms, all the bad things she said about him are expected to be forgotten, and her friends play by the same rule, so they never mention it again. This is a kind of grace or courteousness they extend to each other because they know that when angry with the man, they might say anything and exaggerate. Her friends may tell her to continue to watch him because he is probably lying. Sometimes, if the black woman in question has told too much about her private affairs, she becomes so embarrassed that she breaks off the relationship with the people she told. She thinks that after that incident, she can never really be completely believed about how happy she and her man are. The reputation of a black man hangs in a delicate balance between his woman and her girlfriends. Once ruined by rumor, he has a hard time gaining their confidence or respect. He never knows this because usually they all continue to act friendly, never letting on that they have changed their opinion about him because of something he allegedly did to his woman. They are compassionate with each other about having an attitude. If the black man examines the black woman when she has an attitude, one she denies she is having, he can see the physical symptoms of her stress, such as number one, general irritability and gloom. She sulks, may manage a strange smile, and gets impatient easily. Number two, her heart pounds. She shows symptoms of being excited or out of breath. Her blood pressure may rise. Number three, her mouth and throat becomes dry. She may have difficulty speaking or responding in a normal tone. Number four, she may throw things around. She becomes careless, developing an I don't care or fuck it manner. Five, dizziness. She may appear slightly drunk when she walks. Number six, she develops an inability to concentrate on normal activities. She may have to be spoken to several times before she responds. Number seven, floating anxiety. She appears to be afraid and nervous while restraining her outbursts. Number eight, trembling or nervous tics. Her jaw or eye may twitch. Her hand may shake from trying to control her outrage. Number nine, stuttering. She may jumble her words or display other speech difficulties. Number 10, grinding her teeth. She may do this while awake or asleep at night. She might start to eat more. Number 11, diarrhea, indigestion, or vomiting caused by her internal systems adjusting to deal with her suppressed stress. Number 12, popping pills or increased smoking. She may do this to delay her reactions or just to have something to do other than face her problems. Number 13, she'll get severe headaches, sick migraines that may put her out of commission or send her to bed with pain and nausea. Number 14, drinking, increased alcohol consumption. She may drink more and say things she later says she doesn't remember. Number 15, nightmares. She may wake up with cold sweats or toss and turn. And number 16, become accident prone. Because of her distractions, she may start bumping into things or drive carelessly and becomes dizzy. She cannot see because her vision is clouded with her problems. The Black woman does not know that stress is a reaction caused by the value she places on something. If she changes her value or reaction to an issue or subject, she will have milder responses. If she tells herself that certain things make her upset, undoubtedly they will. Sometimes the Black man will stay away from the Black woman until she gets over her attitude. Left to her own devices, eventually she will work the problem out in her head, settle on a decision she can live with, and continue on in the relationship. Every problem with the Black man, however, requires her to make a decision about whether or not she will stay with him or go. She does not consider, we're on page 141, problems as temporary stumbling blocks. Every issue is a life or death problem that the entire relationship dangles from. During the course of her attitude, she may also devise all kinds of devious schemes she plans how to execute if she thinks her man has done her wrong or tried to make a fool of her. The Black man does not have to make a fool of the Black woman. If he stays with her long enough, he will witness her making a fool out of herself. Most of her emotional pain is self-inflicted, but she refuses to acknowledge this. She sees the Black man as the root of all her problems, and if he would just act right, she would be fine. One of the main reasons she develops an attitude with the Black man is when she thinks that he has made a decision about his life that thrusts her out of the limelight. She insists that the Black man's entire world revolve around her. What's good, Picasso? Just because her whole world revolves around him. She does not want to be a part of his world. She wants to be his entire world. She desires to remain in a state of constantly being romanticized by him. When he develops other interests, she quakes inside from fearing, wondering if his new interest means he is bored with her and no longer wants her. She vies to be the sum total of his focus and will send him through a lot of fabricated changes just to keep his undivided attention. The Black woman is not familiar with non-possessive love, so she believes that to hold on to the love of the Black man, She must cling to an invisible umbilical cord attached to his brain. Chill out. Because she is like the earth, she desires to be steady with her whole being circulating around the black man. The black man is worldly. He may choose to visit any of the other planets while still keeping his homestead intact with the black woman. He may choose to have satellite bases in numerous areas encompassing his universe. His limitations are not equally set with the black woman, so while she becomes content with her home routine, he may charge on searching and discovering everything. The black woman thinks that his experimentations and investigations outside of her means that he does not love her or want her. She wants the black man to be like she is, satisfied and accepting of their life together. If he does not do this, she thinks he is wrong and will get mad at him. She prefers to have him hanging on onto her dress tail, but when he does this, she disrespects him, considers him weak, and treats him badly. The black man is called upon to love the black woman, but he must set limitations about what she can and cannot do. She wants him to enforce his rule over her, even though she claims she doesn't. The main process that creates security for the black woman is for the black man to tell her what to do, have a plan for her life, and see to it that she does it. She desires to be convinced of his love and be forced to do right by him. She is similar to a child who does something to see if the parent will allow it, or does something wrong to see if the parent loves it enough to chastise it. Children do this all the time to reaffirm for themselves that the parent loves them enough to reprimand them. The black woman's practice is a contradiction when she claims she wants to have her own way. All the while, she wants to be monitored and restricted so she will not harm herself or others. It's deep. That's it for tonight, guys. (9:15). I promise to let you go. Again, we are reading The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman, guys. 1989. Thank y'all so much for coming through for another Wednesday night. Show do appreciate y'all. If you find this interesting, smash the like button. If you think this is something that people could learn from or could receive, tell a friend to tell a friend, pass it along, y'all. And that's all I got, man. Thank y'all so much for coming through. We'll continue to pray for each and every single one of y'all. I pray that you guys have better days than you had yesterday. I pray that your family is well, and I pray that you are well enough to be here for your family. Love you guys. Thank you so much for your time. Let y'all out of here. We are going.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is